I know you can't give me any exact numbers, but ballpark, what are the enrollment figures at this point?
Well, last year we had touched a little over 2,200 students, and which was one of the highest enrollments, I think, since 1971. And we feel very good right now that our numbers are at least that strong. We will not know for sure until all the add drops are in. Right now, students are dropping and adding, and some students are coming in at the last moment, trying to, making some decisions. So we've got some adds and drops that'll affect the final numbers. We hope to be just after Labor Day to be able to get some hard figures out. But it looks like our enrollment is going to be strong this year.
Would you say it might be up or down from last year?
Well, I like to say it starts off, if we can be flat, we've obviously hit a high number. I think we have a chance to be potentially up a little bit. But I say that with reservation because you don't know. But I would like to say that based on our numbers in our classes, they're all full, that we have a chance to have a figure that can be on the positive side of that.
And who would you say can be credited with such high enrollment numbers every year?
There's a lot of things that factor into it. It all starts off with recruitment. We have a strong class of our freshmen coming in. That number definitely will be one of our larger numbers in many recent years. Again, like last year, they have a chance to reach that, and which was a strong number. They start the ball rolling. They're out in all of throughout the state and in our bordering states. Matt Adair and his staff are just pounding the pavement, sending out letters and phone calls and so many things that gets the ball rolling. It then sprinkles out even so much farther. Our faculty did a tremendous job of getting our returning students re-enrolled, which is such a key for our students. You can recruit the new students, and then you've got to get them re-enrolled. And we had a real push on, as we've done in the last couple of years, to get those students to come back and get re-enrolled before they left. So we feel very strongly that played a factor. There are then the extenuating factors. I mean, all of our staff, and when students come and visit, we hear time and time again how students enjoy that everybody they meet on our campus atmosphere. There's new programs such as Ag Ed are bringing in new people. All of our activities from fine arts to athletics had strong numbers with them. The physical changes to our campus continue to happen. Our dorms are very full, and we've made upgrades there. So I think there's a lot of things that factor into why we have increased enrollment.
And so you say that the freshman numbers were around 400 last year?
Yes,
so
a little over 400, and I expect that we are going to have somewhere in that vicinity once again this coming year. I mean, our numbers are shaking out right now to have a strong freshman class, and that's where it starts. We've got to have a strong freshman class, and our recruitment office starts with those freshmen, getting them in.
One of the biggest issues right now, parking, obviously. What's being done to relieve the parking crunch?
There's four things we really focused on for the summer. One was the painting of all lines throughout campus. If you go around campus, I don't think, if we did, we missed it just by mistake. We tried to paint every line. That's every fire zone, every handicap zone, every yellow line zone, anything that was out there, so students knew where they could park. We put up all new signage going in each lots, many of them color-coded, so students knew which lots they could park at, because we knew we were going to be full. The parking lot across the street from Fine Arts has been not fully completed. It's completely rock, so when it rains, it's fully functional. We're just waiting for the actual parking curbs that will come in that will actually line it out so there can be even more spots to park in there, because it'll be in an orderly fashion. The other thing that we did that affected parking and throughout campus is we really put a focus on lighting. We went through our campus and have really illuminated almost every area that we felt strongly about. Best example I give you is between Jesse Dunn and Vincent Hall has two big bright night light night lights on it. Now we felt that the area was a little dark, and I'm always asking students, faculty, staff, community people, if they see an area that they think is too dark, let us know, because we can get new lights put in there, or some type of light to actually get that area lit up. So parking, back to the original piece, is a priority. Those are the things we did. We've got plans right now trying to look at new areas for them. I'm probably not at liberty right now to speak about them because we got so many different areas, but looking at more areas for parking. Can it happen overnight? No, because building a parking lot is not a simple thing. The flip side of it is we have the parking by all students has started to, what I like to call, shake out. They're finding their spots. They're just not parking in the old place. The demographics of, I brought 2 vehicles up, or I had to bring Dad's truck to get everything moved in. Now I'm back to a smaller car. It just shifts, and Leroy Burks, Chief Leroy Burks, Mark Wallace, and I, along with all of our administration, have kept a close eye on it, and have talked to students and trying to make sure that we're accommodating everybody. Parking is a priority, has been since the end of last year.
And as far as, it doesn't seem to be, the off-campus parking doesn't seem to be a problem. It seems to be that there's a big crunch in the dorm parking areas. So
exactly.
Is there plans for expansion there?
Yeah, well, that's one of the areas that we're looking very strongly at, is making sure that we have parking for our dorm students. And I think we're pretty close right now. We are maxed out. I mean, let's just face it, we're maxed out in that. But I think that we're going to be able to accommodate this year. You might have to walk a little bit. As I said, a student may have to walk, park right next to the door and be able to get in. But I don't think they have to walk too far. And I think they can. We have our loading zones, and where you can come up to your dorm, unload, and then move your car back. So I think we have some areas that they can still be accommodated and get the parking that they need.
And if numbers continue to grow in the fashion that they have been growing in the past few years, what, besides parking, what's planning on being expanded? Is there new buildings, maybe? And this might be farther down the road.
Well, obviously, we're always looking at adding sections of classes, making sure that we accommodate the sections of classes, and that was done this year. We added quite a few numbers of sections in areas that we needed, in that Dr. Lohman, Dr. Needler, Dr. Bowen did a great job of finding those opportunities, along with all the chairs, and I just appreciate the faculty so much that they're willing to accommodate some of our student numbers. That has been great. Obviously, new buildings. I can't really speak to that as far as new buildings. Obviously, we have our new Ag Ed building coming in at the farm that is being built as we speak. But I think what we're always looking at in our areas that we're looking at, as far as your numbers growing, I think we're trying to find all those. You take the things such as parking and better lighting and potentially one of the other things we're doing is in our dorms. We're continually upgrading them. There are huge upgrades made to all of our dorms. Some of them students can see, others of them they can't see. But we spent a full summer on all of our dorms doing a lot of things for there, because our numbers are up considerably there also. Right now we feel like we're up approximately 100 students, somewhere in around 650 in our dorms. So students are finding out we have the cheapest room and board last year, the most affordable, and that has paid off, because students have been able to get affordable meals and housing on campus.
And graduation rates, are they cohering with the recruitment rates, or would you say that?
For fall, I think our faculty will come in. Yes, I mean, that's something we're constantly watching. What the first step always is to get students to buy into going off to college and getting a start here. Not all of them, as I like to say, are going to finish. Some come to college and find out, you know what, I really want to go do something else. I wanted to go to college and get a degree, but I want to go off and I want to work for a few years first. But we work very hard with our faculty also the combination of all of us working to keep every student in. Our efforts through the retention office, Mrs. Brown, the work by the faculty, the work by our administration. I think that each and every day, getting those students off on the right start is such a key thing. Our Ranger Connection classes have been up and going, and they get the students off on the right start. We had tremendous orientation numbers. Over half of our transfer students this year came to transfer orientation, which was optional. We did not, that is not mandatory, because as a transfer student, many students know already what they expect. We had over half come, which I was ecstatic with. That we started a couple years ago with about a dozen students. Today we sit where over half, well into 120, 130 transfer students came to our orientations across our 3 campuses.
And lastly, any advice to the new students about just meshing well with university life?
Well, we've had really exciting things going on in Howdy Week, and I've been ecstatic about their turnout. We had over 300 people, students alone, attend our opening week at Coronado Cafeteria. That was students that were on campus, off campus. We had over 220 attend movie night, which was the largest ever that anybody could remember. Bowling night was a success last night. We've got our big block party we think is going to be very successful tonight. So what I tell students is here's these activities. Get out, see people, and I go to many or all of the activities like this that I can, and I've been seeing lots and lots of new faces out there. So I really encourage students to, number one, get a focus and get off to a good start on your academics. Get to your classes, know your instructors, know what you've got ahead of you. Then kind of work your way out. Socially, obviously, there's so many things that you can do on our campus. Join so many clubs and organizations and activities that's not a problem. But don't lose your focus. Your focus is to get a degree. You are going to have to work at it. We've got things such as the brand new Academic Success Center. Stop by there and see the things that can happen there for you. It's gorgeous, but students have to use it. So I just encourage students to take a simple thing. If you work hard at it, and by meaning working hard, taking care of the little things, going to class. Going to class is such a vital piece, and it's easy to miss. But going to class and having fun with it. You know, I think college has got to be a fun experience, and I think Northwestern works hard to do that.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just appreciate.
Thank you.
Was that what you were kind of looking for?